Hey everyone, I'm Army Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Monster Legends. Specifically, welcome to the Dragon Awakening Maze. The Dragon Awakening Maze has risen. There are 2 new monsters that you can get and even rank up. Draghar is an attacker light dragon included in the Evil Legions book. He's a torturer who can also disable traits to enemies and apply guard down to them. And the star of the maze is Zeighar. Zeighar is a magic control monster with anticipation and resurrection block as a trait. Keep in mind, we were wondering what the trait was actually going to be for this monster. Well, he can block resurrection, and he also has the anticipation trait. And I've been saying this more and more, that monsters like Voltic and Zyla and Charmless, as good as they are, as long as they've dominated the game, with more and more monsters being released that have anticipation, you were going to see their numbers really dwindle down. And then the great thing about having anticipation, especially with all these different elements, is that you don't only counter the extra turn monsters like Voltic and Zyla. Well, I mean, you do, but you counter every single monster that even has one single extra turn skill. Because now when these monsters are on defense, your opponent really has to think twice before turn transferring, because these monsters have a really great skill set. And then besides the control skills, he can also apply tortures and debuffs. So let's see what else we have. We have a surprise chest with orbs, 9 wonders chest, Armo visits the monster wood. You keep in mind, you want this monster if you want to complete the 4th page of the limited edition book. There's a team battleground survey if you enjoyed the last team battleground. The biggest change was that we were allowed to use 10 defenses and 10 offenses as opposed to 5. And let's see, we have a Marquis step up chest, and we have a birthday breeding event. I've pretty much given up on this event. I'd rather devote my resources towards the maze than a breeding event where I'm probably not going to get anyone, and I don't really care for anyone except for Uriel. So what I might actually do is on one habitat, on one breeding tree or breeding cave, I might try to breed Uriel, and on the rest I'll just stick to my Thunder Eagles. But let's keep going. We have the survival dungeon that's coming to an end soon, so if you want to pick up this monster, keep in mind you need him for the 5th page of the book, and he's just a really great monster. He's just like Dunraw. But let's keep going. We have Wormlad's Tail. I imagine most of you already have all the tokens for this monster. And I've said this before, every time Social Point does one of these events, for some reason they make it so easy to get them during the Monster Wood event, where you don't even need to do the dungeon. If you did do the dungeon, you got a lot of items there. But really, just by watching Monster Wood videos, you're good to go. So that's Wormlad's Tail, the birthday event chest. This event's still going on for 8 more days. The limited edition book still has 3 more weeks, 24 more days. And then let's see what else. Okay, I'll do that later. So I'm not on my main account, I'm on a different account just because I want to showcase the actual Dragon Awakening maze. So when you start off with this event, you have 150 maze coins. Now, once you do all of your tasks, and if you click on the little question mark, this is how you do all of your tasks. You can collect gold, you can feed, you can collect food, battle PvP, you can breed and hatch. When you add up all of those amounts, those are the maximum amount of coins you can get, as depicted in the picture. You'll get 225 maze coins, and you can do all of these tasks every 4 hours, which means 225 times the number of times you play in 4-hour intervals. That's how many maze coins you can get per day. So that's how we can start calculating what monster you can get, whether it's possible to get Draghar, whether it's possible to get Zeighar. Oh, and I forgot about the other monsters that are available, but first let me just showcase. I'll start off by collecting all of my gold, and then I'll go to one habitat and I'll click collect. I think the game froze. There it is. I got my 30 maze coins. So clicking back on Dragon Awakening maze, I should have 180. Click on the question mark. As you can see, the max is 30. I can spam collect on a habitat. I won't get anything. You should know that if you ever collect and you don't get anything, exit out of the game, go back into the game, and most often you'll end up getting your coins. So now let me collect food. So I'll collect a few, and then you can honestly, it doesn't matter what you collect. Like, you can do blue lizard tail. Here, let me collect a couple more. Yeah, you can. Here, I'll just click repeat all. You can just plant blue lizard tail and you'll get your coins. And sometimes you have to do it more than once. Let me feed a monster. Let me find a random monster to feed. I'll feed this rank 2 fire sar. So I'll feed him. I got 2 maze coins. So now, okay, I got 2. Keep that in mind. What is the max I can collect? It should be 30. So I'm missing 28 more maze coins. So I'll come back to him. I'm gonna go collect my food and then come back to feeding. So let me click collect, and I got 50. So that is the maximum amount. So, and I'm missing 28 from feeding, so let me go back to feeding, and click, and I got 21. I was missing 28, so now I'm still missing 7. So, I'm gonna make sure I get those 7, so I'll come back to that. Let's see what else I can do. So, I am missing 7 from feeding. I can do PvP, I can breed and hatch. So, breeding and hatching is very, very easy. And this is actually how you also keep track of when was the last time you logged in was. So that's what I got for hatching. I got my 50 maze coins. And then check this out. For breeding, all you have to do, it's very, very easy. We'll go to breed. we would do a Thunder Legendary monster, and we would do a Thunder Common monster. You could also just do 2 Thunder Common monsters together, like 2 Thunder Eagles together. So I actually do have 2 Thunder Eagles, so I might as well do them. So I'll do 2 Thunder Eagles, but you should know that all you need is a Thunder Legendary and 1 Thunder Eagle, 2 Thunder Eagles. And the reason you want to do that, I lost my Thunder Eagle. He's level 70. The reason you want to do that is because you will always get a 4-hour Thunder Eagle. So see, I got my 50 maze coins for breeding, and that way you know when the last time you logged in the game was. So if I log into the game and I see that Thunder Eagle still needs 1 hour, that means it's not time to collect. Okay, so that's something you can easily do. And if you ever find, oh, I got 50 more, that's odd. I guess that's interesting. So this always happens on this account. It's because I never touch this account except when I make a video on the maze, because I already collected on my baby account and main account, that I always get like double what I'm supposed to get. Very interesting. But basically, if you ever find that breeding Thunder Eagle doesn't give you your maze coins, what I would quickly recommend is to do a very fast a very quick Pandakin breeding, Greenistar breeding, Firestar breeding, just something that takes like very fast. So I always do Pandakin just out of habit, even though it's 30 seconds, when you can do Firestar or Greenistar for 30 seconds. But just do a quick little breed, and then most of the time you'll find that you get your maze coins. So if I remember correctly, I was still missing maze coins here, 7 more. So bam, there it is, see? 7. So the last thing you gotta do is fight PvP. And keep in mind that you want to win PvP. You don't just want to lose. You know, it's not just fight PvP. You actually got to win. So let's auto this real quick. Well, that was fast. What even happened? I must have a pestilence trap or something. So I got my 50 maze coins. And the reason you want to fight PvP and win PvP is because you have a chance to spin the wheel and get maze coins. And every time you land on maze coins, you get 50 more maze coins. So be sure to do that. Also be on the lookout because during maze coins, Social Point will put a dungeon where you can get maze coins, so be on the lookout for that. Also, Monster Wood, a lot of times Social Point will do a Happy Wood Monster Wood Hour where you can get a bunch of maze coins from here. So there's going to be a maze coin dungeon, there's going to be Monster Wood, there's probably going to be 2 of each during the course of the event. So, again, if you're wondering how many maze coins you can get per day, well, let's say you only log in twice a day. That's 225 times 2, that's 450. Let's say log in 4 times a day, which is, I imagine, is what most people can do. That's 900 maze coins per day. The event is 14 days long, so let's see, 10 days would be 9,000 maze coins. An extra 4 days, that's an extra 3,600. That's 12,600. That's not even counting the Monster Wood Happy Hour. That's not even counting the dungeon, the maze coin dungeons. And then, so that's just something to keep in mind about how much you can get. Maybe on the weekends you can log in more than 4 times a day. Maybe you can do 5 times a day. And even though I say 4 times a day, keep in mind that if you're going to go to sleep for 8 hours, even if it's not the full 8-hour collection period, you still want to collect your gold, you still want to feed, you still want to do your PvP just to get some coins. So it will add up over time. So definitely before you go to sleep, you want to collect no matter what it is, because you're going to miss out on maze coins if you don't, especially if you're sleeping longer than a 4-hour period. Alright, keep that in mind. The second most important thing to know about the maze coins, the maze dungeons, any maze dungeon, is that there are always happy hours during the mazes, so you should wait for happy hours to move. So for example, I told you that I already moved on my main account. As you can see, I only have 2 maze coins. That's because I happened to wake up when there was a 30% discount, because the first hour of any maze is a 30% discount. So I already moved 2 of my monsters. I already got some keys. As you can see, Zeighar I have 2 out of 6, Kihaku I have 1 out of 4, Draghar I have 1 out of 5, the Gamth 0 out of 2, Lernian 0 out of 3. So I already moved my monsters quite a significant amount. Basically, my 150 plus my 225 that I got, my 225 that I got from doing all of my collections, I was able to use all those coins and I advanced my monsters. I am not going to move them up until there's a happy hour, preferably a 30% happy hour. I don't know if Social Point is going to do it. They didn't do another one last time. They did end up doing the 20% discount at the very, very end, but there was no other 30% discount. Now, also keep in mind, there is going to be a limited edition pathway, which I imagine will be very, very soon. Maybe by Wednesday, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. I think probably the weekend, so maybe Friday we can expect it 5 days in. It's going to be Talonay from the sources we've seen. And so if you want a Talonay, keep in mind she's one of the monsters needed in the books. You could pick her up. Also keep in mind that her pathway will probably cost anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000, depending on whether or not you get a discount. So that might hinder your chance of getting Zeighar or getting Draghar. In my previous events, I skipped out on the limited edition monster just so I could make sure I get one of the new monsters, and I was able to get Voltar at rank 1. So it worked out for me, and in this event, I want to get both Zeighar and Draghar unranked. So I think I'm going to be skipping out on Talonay. Now, in terms of what monsters are available, you can skip Ao Long, you can skip Samarg. Zeighar's cool. He's a fantastic monster. I gotta check out his stats and everything. But look at this. He's a winged, he's an undead, he's a villain. So he can hold essence, so that's a revival essence. He can even hold the staff. That's good for stamina draining or for stamina recovery. Let's see, Kihaku's still a good monster in my opinion. Can hold the double trap relics. We have Draghar. What is he in? He's in Dragon, Winged, and Evil Legions. And he can hold Trap and Sword. The Sword is interesting. Wait, he's an attacker, so I guess Sword actually works. I remember saying in my early analysis, like, I don't think this monster's going to be holding a Sword relic. He's a dragon, but I guess he's holding a Sword relic. So, I believe he had AoE Nightmares. He had a lot of tortures. So, I guess he's going to be able to work with Nishin's Sword and Stamina Drain, too. So, that's interesting, and deal some dark damage. The Gamth is a cool looking monster. I wouldn't recommend. Lernian I love. Lots of torture effects, 0 cooldown skills, so cooldowns activated, can't touch him. I would say he's significantly outclassed in the current meta though. I still like him a lot. He's a cool looking monster. I mean, it goes without saying, I would recommend one of the new monsters, whether you need a light attacker, whether you need a magic control monster. I know a lot of players already have a lot of magic control. I think light attackers is what a lot of players are probably lacking, unless you have a Taiga, unless you have a Patreon or a Lathe, and Lathe is significantly outclassed, I would say. You probably need a light attacker. But then Zeighar's anticipation monster. Come on, it's just super useful to have anticipation in every element. Like, part of me regrets not getting Hukuai in the previous maze events because he's an anticipation water monster. But it is what it is. So again, it goes without saying, you should get the 2 new monsters, one of them, and you can probably get them ranked up if you really devote yourself to this event. If you don't really care about Zeighar or Draghar, I would say just get a Kihaku. Kihaku Lernian would be my order of preference. But you should really try for one of the new ones. Or honestly, get Talonade just because she's cheap. She's legendary. She's like an exclusive monster. After Talonade, get a Kihaku. After Kihaku, get Lernian if you really don't care for the 2 new monsters. But I think you really should. And I think with that, that'll conclude this video. It's more of a how to do the Dragon Awakening maze. How to do any maze. Really, it's the same advice in every single video. But as more players join Monster Legends, as more players are new to the game, I think it's useful to give these kinds of videos so you guys can know how to maximize your coin earning potential. With that being said, I will do an in-depth analysis on Draghar and on Zeighar when I have time. I want to go deep into their stats. I want to go deep into what books they're in and all of that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Let me know who you're going to be going for, more importantly. Later on, I'll give you costs of getting individual monsters and all of that good stuff. So once again, thank you very much, and I will see you all next time.